not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Back to back, they've done it again.
Beat us on our home floor, celebrated on our home floor. I won't forget that.
The 2013 NBA championship resides once again in Miami.
It's over, and Miami wins.
And LeBron James, it's a really interesting scenario. LeBron James, if he wins the finals this year, it'll be his 3rd straight NBA championship. That's rarefied air. If he loses the finals, he will then have a losing record in the NBA finals. He would be at 2-3. Talk about a huge difference in how we might look at his legacy. We now bring in Mark Schwartz, who's with the Miami Heat. Mark, a lot of talk about LeBron, a lot of talk about his legacy. What's San Antonio going to do with this dude?
Well, you know, they handle LeBron James better than any team in the NBA, Stuart. 6 years ago, when he was a Cavalier, he had a poor 2007 finals, and Greg Popovich later called him a neophyte. But last year, at the height of his powers, you expected him to have a huge series from the outset. But let's take a look at what happened. The Spurs conceded long jump shots. Every time he was inside the three-point line, they wanted him to shoot that long 2, and he bricked it. 22% of his jump shots in the first 3 games. Look at him jab stepping, trying to figure out how to shoot it over Thiago's splitter, out of rhythm. Finally, he figured it out. It worked, at least for 3 games.
Well, they actually didn't focus on me last year. They didn't guard me. I didn't make shots. But they had a great game plan, I guess.
Why do you think they've had more success slowing LeBron than almost any other team?
I don't know. You know, they have a system committed to protecting the paint, and we have to figure it out.
They bait you. They bait you into taking quick shots, and we know that. And, you know, sometimes you're going to feel disrespected. You're going to feel that you can make that shot, and you can.
I mean, they have a game plan versus me, and I understand they would rather me, you know, shoot jumpers than be in the paint. I think every team in our league would rather that.
The Spurs excel at keeping players out of the paint, and the Heat believe that they will try to do the same thing this series. They will allow Wade and James to go jump shot, jump shot, jump shot, and try to put a chest against them. LeBron finally figured out that he was one of the best perimeter shooters in the NBA. The last 4 games was a different story. He shot 49% from jump shot range, and he will figure these guys out, knowing his calm and zen-like ability to go through basketball teams right now, Stuart.
Thanks a lot, Mark. We appreciate it. So this LeBron fella, you know, I think, seriously, with a little bit of seasoning and some practice, might be a halfway decent basketball player. Seriously, though, LeBron's career playoff shooting percentage coming into this season was 47%. This postseason, dude shooting 56% from the floor. Legs, we heard Mark talk about it. What's San Antonio going to do? I mean, look, you're not going to stop them. What's San Antonio going to do to at least try and slow that down?
Well, we talked on it, and it's not going to change. You have to make this guy shoot perimeter jump shots. When you look at LeBron James, when he lost to the Dallas Mavericks, and he was really almost paralyzed with fear of shooting that mid-range jump shot, he improved every year since. And this is what he's going to get, a lot of space. He's going to end up with the basketball a lot of times late in shot clocks, like right here. He's going to have to make his share of jumpers in this series because no one has the ball late in the shot clock more in this series than LeBron James does. And most importantly, when he gets these ISO situations and he's utilizing his jab step, get on balance, go up and shoot it with confidence. He didn't do that 3 years ago. He's gotten better each year. Last year, through 3 games in this series, they were really baiting him into that shot, and you could see he was almost looking around like, are you guys serious? You really want me to take this 15-foot jumper uncontested? Couldn't knock down his share. It improved as the series went on. Expect the same type of defense, but LeBron James is a much more confident mid-range game shooter than he has been at any time in his career, so that strategy might not pay off for San Antonio early in the series.
Well, on the off chance you thought LeBron James was going to chicken out and not show for the NBA Finals, oh, wrong you are. Yoga. If he was in Cleveland, that'd still be stretching. Anyway, LeBron customarily speaks at his locker before games, so here he is heading to his locker, and in keeping with customs, we will hear LeBron. Take off them Beats headphones and talk to us, LBJ.
Playing so many games over 4 years, it takes such a physical and emotional toll. and can cause exhaustion. Have you all felt that now that you look back 9 months after this journey began this year?
Well, the journey isn't over. We're still in it.
Right.
You know, so, you know, we live each day and prepare each day as its own, and can't really focus on the past. We're in a great situation. We're happy to be here, and look forward to the challenge.
Has there been any exhaustion at all you guys have felt?
Exhaustion? I mean, yeah, we've had mental fatigue. We've had physical fatigue over the course of the season, but you know, mentally we was able to regather ourselves when it meant the most, and we put ourselves in a position to be able to compete for another championship.
LeBron, what do you see difference between last year
I mean, we're pretty much the same. I mean, we've grown as far as being together another year, but as far as our mental toughness, we were just like we were last year. You know, we don't get too high, we don't get too low throughout the course of a series. We just play even keel, we play ball the right way, we defend at a high level, and we share the ball offensively. So, you know, we've gotten better as far as the camaraderie, the chemistry on the floor, but we're pretty much the same in the sense of how mentally strong we are.
LeBron, these things work together through all these years, and each one's kind of individualize themselves.
What do you mean by that?
Like, every year stand out, or is this kind of running together at this point?
No, they kind of just run together. I mean, when you're in it, you don't. It's hard to kind of sit back and say, you know, what you've accomplished or what you've done. I've always felt that, you know, once we're done playing the game as an individual, you'll be able to look back and look at the fun you had, look at the things you were able to accomplish as a team, as an individual. But while you're in it, you're just living it.
Is that tough that you aren't able to appreciate it as much when you're in the middle of it?
Yeah, it's tough at times, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, you know, when you're around a great group of guys, man, it makes it a lot easier.
You look incredibly relaxed right now. How are you feeling?
I feel good. You know, it's another opportunity, like I said, for our team to be able to make a statement, you know, in a hostile building. But we have an opportunity to play for a finals, man. And this is everything we all dreamed of growing up, and, you know, we're blessed.
Is it even more, is it easier to be relaxed in a road, to start this series on the road, as opposed to on your home court?
I don't know. I mean, you know, for us, it's our 4th appearance. And like I said, we don't get too high, we don't get too low. We are excited. We're excited about this opportunity. But we're just, you know, when the game gets here, you know, we'll be ready for it.
You said legacy talk was stupid. Why do you feel that's not the case?
I feel it is. You know, while guys are still trying to define what they want to accomplish in their careers, to talk about it right now is stupid. You know, let guys play out their years. You know, play the way they want to play out on the floor. And for me, a legacy isn't just basketball. I think people get caught up in, you know, what you do on the floor, what you do on the gridiron, what you do in the diamond, and so on, and just try to define your legacy by how you just play the sport. You know, I think my calling is much bigger than just basketball. So to say what my legacy is on the floor and just say that's all it is, I think it's stupid.
LeBron, the vibe in the building tonight, how do you compare it to Game 1 of last year?
I don't know. I haven't felt much of a vibe at all yet. You know, I believe I will in about 6 or 7 minutes. So I can give you a better answer after the game.
Going back to when you came here a few years ago, what was your thinking about Mickey Harrison in terms of how important was he in your decision? What did you know about him? How did that all factor?
Wasn't a big factor. It is now. I mean, get out of the 4 years, I've got an opportunity to grow and be around him and see him. But the biggest factor was D-Wade and CB, and then Rouse, and then Spo. You know, I wanted to team up with 2 guys that we could put each other and try to raise each other's game to help each other compete for championships. So my number 1 factor was D-Wade and CB. And like I said, went, you know, to Rouse and then Spo. And then over the years, I've grown to know Mickey and Nick and the rest of the team here.
What are your impressions of Mickey as an owner in terms of how he helps you guys?
Well, he allows Rouse to be the brains behind the team. And, you know, Rouse does a great job of, you know, figuring out personnel, what fits in our locker room. And, but it starts with Mickey, and he allows him to do that.
All right, thank you.
Riles.
He is. He looks like he's ready to go, does he not?
I think so, too. I wouldn't want to run into him in a hallway. From one legacy to be determined down the road, he doesn't want to...
I found it, LeBron. on the road, being considered one of the greatest of all time, but it's tough to remember that he struggled in that first couple of trips to the NBA Finals. 2007, 2001, his teams were 2-8. He averaged less than 20 points per game. Of course, that's changed over the last couple of years with a couple of titles. Preach, brother. All right, Dwayne Wade, as you know, he sets out his wardrobe for each game well ahead of time. So there are the game one duds.
Although it looks like duct tape.
Yep, got a little piece of that. Maybe he was doing some stuff. Anyway, he's in his locker right now. We're hearing from him right now. Enough of the plumbing.
I mean, I don't know. It's a lot that goes to play, to be a champion. I think, for him is, when he came in, he was expected to do great things from start, and every year he didn't. More pressure mounted on. So, he had to get over the hump of the expectations. And he also had to get over the hump of just being a young player and have to go through it. It's not easy for a young guy to come in and win right away. It takes time. And he had to get over the hump. And, obviously coming here was the right time for him to do that.
Dwayne, over the last 4 years, you've now played what's equal to a full regular season of games with playoff games, 83 at the moment. How do you think the team has dealt just with the emotional and the physical toll that comes with playing so many games over a 4-year period?
Well, I think we've done well. We've been here the last 4 years, so we've done something right. We've been able to, even when we've lost through that process, we've been able to come back, figure it out. So we've done a good job. And, obviously it's not over yet. We got at least 7 more games left in this season to continue that task. But, we've done pretty good up to this point.
Has there been exhaustion, you think? And have you seen any, because of the volume of games with teammates, or you just from a physical standpoint?
I don't know. I mean, if it was that much of exhaustion, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have made it. So, is it a mental challenge? Yes, it is. But, this is what we all wanted. This is what we asked for. And, we try to prepare ourselves as much as possible, throughout the summer, throughout the year, for this.
Dwayne, before a game, a lot of times you guys look pretty intense, and tonight, especially LeBron, more relaxed than we've seen him probably since the preseason. Is it easier in some ways to start a series on the road, or what do you think is going on?
No, just individuals have it different ways. You feel different, certain games. I mean, sometimes you need to come in with an unbelievable amount of focus. Sometimes you need to come in loose and not, not put too much stress on, especially the first game. We got to come out and play basketball. And that's just the way he came in today. Just the way he felt. Throughout a series, throughout a season, you come in different every game. Sometimes it's loose, sometimes it's that focus where you can see it when you walk in. But just because you lose don't mean you don't have the focus. It's just different ways of expressing yourself.
How are you feeling?
Focused, ready to go. I mean, we've been here now since Tuesday, and you start feeling it. Finals. You know what it's about. You kind of want to just get that first couple minutes out the way, and then it just settles in to be a basketball game. So just want to get to that first couple minutes, and then now, we're just playing basketball from there.
Can you imagine ever making the transition that Richard Lewis has made? What he used to be to what he's willing to be for you guys now?
Yes. Everyone has had everyone that when you come to a team like this, you all have to make some sacrifices. You all have to change. You got to get. You can't come here and expect to have what you normally have. You got to get used to different, and it's different levels of it. Obviously Richard had a big role in Orlando. Going to the championship, and then it went a little quiet for him when he got traded. Went to Washington, and they come here the unknown, when he's going to play, when he's not going to play. And last year, not even playing in the finals, and this year starting. You just never know what to expect. But, I mean, when you got guys that's true professionals, the guys that, continue to believe in their ability. You got teammates like us that keep everybody uplifted. When the opportunities come, they feel confident that they can, that they can deliver.
LeBron James, so he's often seen as the player in pursuit of MJ's title of the greatest ever, but, I mean, give him a break. It was actually D. Wade who has already joined MJ as the only two players in NBA history who averaged 25 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists in the finals, while also having collected at least 3 rings.
All right, all big three are now in attendance. James, Wade, there's Chris Bosh at the AT&T Center, where the Spurs were 32-9 this season during the regular campaign, 9-1, just one loss here in the postseason. Sage Steele has a crew of NBA people with her to count down to tip-off. We're back in San Antonio.